Why does he keep restarting? Is he stupid?
There's a power move to this. There has to be.
Who just giggled like that? Ow, that stings. Oh, great. I just got hit and ran by a vibrating fountain. Just my luck. At least you could help me up before the rest of you gets melted by the sun or jackhammers itself into the Earth's mantle. Not with an attitude. Ugh. Listen up, dickhead. I don't know who you are, but you've got a lot of nerve smacking someone down and not even bothering to help them back up. But since your mother clearly didn't teach you manners, I'll let this one slide. By the looks of it, you're late for school as well, and by a stroke of once-in-a-lifetime luck, you just happened to bump into the prettiest girl in town. So I'll forgive you for your extreme transgression of laying your hands on a fair maiden. If you tell me, if you tell me which way to go, since I seem to have gotten lost on the way.
Calls herself the prettiest
I'm
girl, and
lost
yet you don't
too.
have a
I'm
face.
lost too. Ah, just my luck. Just my luck. Though in retrospect, I guess you wouldn't be here with me right now if you weren't lost as well. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled blood. We might as well just wait for another student to come by and follow them instead. I'm Mirage. Don't bother telling me your name though. I don't really care. You could do with being a bit nicer. Yeah? Well, you could do with a beatdown, so fuck off. But yes, you're right. I don't really care about what you or anyone else thinks of me, so I'm not interested in trying to be nice. So I'm not interested in trying to be nice just so you'll be in a good mood. Why not? If we're stuck down here together. What's the point of making it better? Wait, what's the point of making it better? What's the point of even bothering to care? Hell, what's the point of anything at all? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, really, take a moment to think about it. The human mind, in its complete vastness, is capable of recognizing its utter helplessness and uselessness in the face of inevitable and unavoidable non existence, but is incapable of coming to terms with it. We can only ever, ignore it, hide from it, or temporarily escape from it, but the fact is, we are bound to the way of all things.
This is epic.
What the fuck do you mean? Why am I using that tone? What tone? Death is unavoidable, not only to us, but all that exists or ever has existed. Every living being will eventually die out.
Could you be like more sassier or something?
Every speck of matter will eventually wither away and dissipate into entropy. It doesn't matter if you lived a good life or if you left a legacy behind. It doesn't matter if humanity survives for 1,000 years or dies out tomorrow. The end result is the same: the absolute nothing. Human intelligence is far beyond that of other animals, but it would be misguided to consider that a gift. All other beings have the gift of ignorance, of not understanding what we do. Our intelligence is not a gift, it's a flaw. It's an overextension of evolution. Intelligence, once a great feature in eons past, continued to grow, unchecked and unfiltered, and has since past a threshold whereupon it is no longer a benefit, but an active danger to its host, much like the Irish elk. Oh, a species of deer that, through uncountable generations of evolution, grew antlers so wide and vast that it could no longer run from its predators, eventually leading to extinction. The human mind is an evolutionary maladaptation caused by going too far in a direction that was once beneficial and will sooner or later lead to our extinction. On an individual level, it's already happening. Existential dread is already taking hold. I'm sure you felt it too. The pain and fear of being nothing, becoming nothing, the suffering of understanding that. We are unable to come to terms with it, so we hide from our own intelligence.
And yet she was the one complaining about being late.
We set limits. We stop ourselves from thinking deeply about what will happen when we die. We create distractions. We keep our minds busy with mundane activities and entertainment, stop ourselves from having to come face to face with the truth. We sublimate, we sublimate it, we transform our self-reflective suffering into another form, art, to keep it from consuming us. Anything to avoid, the panic. But these ways are all simply temporary. They're just there to push back the inevitable veil of helplessness and despair that would encompass and ruin us. In the end, nothing matters. There is no point in trying to find joy in life, for life, in and of itself, is suffering. I think that's the point. That's what I'm going for. Exactly. That's what makes it funny. It's because it's Mirage in a fucking schoolgirl uniform saying all this. You're wrong. Huh? You criticize those who consider our vast intelligence a gift, and yet also misguide yourself to believe our meaninglessness is a curse. How could it not be? Nothing we do matters in the end, and that is precisely why we are not shackled by the burden of expectations, the fear of eternal judgment, or the failure to meet up to an arbitrary definition of what makes our limited time not wasted. Time cannot be wasted, for there is no greater purpose to life than simply living it. But still, in that case, the meaninglessness of our actions draws the same conclusion. There is no reason to act, for any action is simply a temporary fluctuation that will, nevertheless, lead to the same conclusion. Quite the contrary. Because we have no greater purpose, we are free to set our own, to create self defined goals for which to strive. For some, it may be nothing. For some, it may be pleasure. For some, it may be creation. For some, it may be improving the lives of others. It is because we have no greater purpose that time spent on goals set by oneself cannot be time wasted. In the end, nothing matters, and therefore you have no reason not to do what you want rather than whatever illusion of greater purpose is forced on you by others or even your own misguided thoughts. I do understand what you mean. However, that doesn't ease my fear of the end. Even I, even if I were to try and find purpose, I would still be paralyzed by the thought of becoming nothing. And it is a thought worth fearing. However, abandoning purpose, hope, choice, goals, pleasure, giving up is not accepting the end. It is simply accepting the fear of it. It is embracing despair rather than facing it. I see. Though, as much as I'd like to embrace it, I am nevertheless struck with that paralyzing existential panic. I understand it logically, and I know that there is no reason to live in apathy, but my emotional side refuses to listen. The fear persists, and I cannot motivate myself to seek purpose, despite knowing I must. This is true. The emotional is not controlled by the logical. However, they are interlinked. Just as the deepest, darkest depths of despair can overthrow reason and the logical, warping them to fit into that haze of depression, so too can reason influence and overpower emotion, regardless of how impenetrable its defenses may seem. Fuck that one up. By continually forcing to subvert those creeping negative thoughts with the positive logical ones, the emotional mind will eventually, slowly, gradually start to shape fit to the logical. It is not an easy job. It is not a quick job. It will sometimes feel like an impossible job. However, it can be done. What is this Evangelion ass shit? With an immense amount of time, effort, and energy, it will improve. You can change. You can heal. Oh god, this is getting too real. And during the hardest times, when all seems lost and you want to give up, never forget, we will. Oh, this is Evangelion. This is an Evangelion reference? I'm not even this is an Evangelion reference. This is a fucking Evangelion reference. This whole thing, the fact that it's the uniform, the we will always love you. Oh fuck, this is good. What the fuck? This is John Ultrakill. Thank you. Click it. Oh, she's happy. Well, I'll be damned. Guess you got a good head on your shoulders after all. Hell, even I'm impressed. Man, I feel like I've just shed the weight of the world off my back. Or rather, you've done that for me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've given me a lot to think about, and while I'm sure I've had a long and hard road ahead of me, I'm optimistic. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm optimistic. Say, we're already way too late for school, and it's become quite clear by now that nobody's gonna come lead us there. So, how about you and I ditch that passion draining? How about you and I? How about you and I take two? How about you and I ditch that passion draining penitiary? I give up and go grab something to eat, huh? Yeah, sure. Oh, you sneaky bitch! But all right. I do owe you one anyway. So what better time to cash out your did a nice thing to a girl way out of my league? Wait, hold on, let me try that again. I do owe you one anyway. So what better time to cash out your did a nice thing to a girl way out of my league coupon than now, huh? Ay, ay, ay.